Hello, and welcome back to Cabincast /
Hello.
React. I'm here with Tom.
It is me.
So Tom missed What If this week because his week has been a thing. So
Yes,
we're
a thing of
doing
horror and disgust. If you
yeah,
know
so
the A27, you know what I'm talking about.
yeah, it's
Um,
bad road. So he missed What If, but he
very
won't in
bad.
future. Um,
Hopefully.
but so for this week we're gonna do a bit of a Bad Batch thing, which we did with Jacob when we did that, where we're gonna just record this now and get Tom's reaction and his thoughts. However, there's more.
Mhm.
A new What If trailer came out, kind of mid last week, which I have seen. Jacob and Tom have not seen. No, Jacob and Chris have not seen any of them. We're keeping them away from it, that they are
Mhm.
as unspoiled as possible. But Tom has seen all the other stuff. We've discussed it before, so we're gonna take a look at those.
That.
There are two of them, because we're gonna watch the original Japanese and also the dub. Um,
Mhm.
I think we're gonna do the sub first because that just seems like
Yeah.
more appropriate. Um, But we'll watch both of them and discuss them because it will be interesting to see
Yeah.
both the.
It'll be interesting to see how we decide to approach watching the Vision stuff.
Yeah. I mean, I'm
Um,
pretty sure we'll both end up watching. We'll all end up watching both at some point. But
yeah, I think it might be worth because it is Star Wars. It's typically in English, but I mean, we could do it in that. It depends on how good the dub
watch
actually
the
is.
trailer.
Yeah.
I think you'll agree when we get to it that watching it in Japanese is gonna be better.
Okay.
Um, to start, the dub was great. But again, we got What If first. So this is episode 2 of What
Yes.
If. What if T'Challa became a Star Lord?
What
Like
if
I've said,
T'Challa became a Star Lord?
I've already watched this with Chris. You can check out that video. It's already up.
Um,
Video? We don't do
presumably,
videos yet.
Chris was the
Well,
Watcher.
we detried it. It didn't come out quite as much. You can listen to this. It came back a couple of days ago. I guess you could technically watch it on the YouTube if I eventually upload it there. It's effort that I've not put in yet, but
I'm
I
not the
might do at some
interferer.
point.
I
But
am
if you
the
do
Watcher.
watch it, it will just be a screen, so maybe just listen. But yeah, I'm gonna stop rambling. Let us begin. Starting in 3, 2, 1, now.
The Watcher.
Tom,
What if it's funny once? It's funny a million times.
that is only occasionally true. Oh, I've been rewatching Rebels.
Yes.
And you know how in Bad Batch you get the skip intro.
Yeah.
They've added that to Rebels now.
Oh God.
Also, for the 2 seconds that the Rebels title card flashes up on screen.
Nice. Thanks, Disney. I'm
And
getting
often with
buffering.
Rebels,
Hang on,
is
I'm
it stopped
syncing
for
to
you?
group. Yeah, I'm
Oh,
syncing to group. It's
shit.
having a little spaz out.
I will pause. We've paused to 46 seconds. Jeffrey Wright's name is on the screen.
Marvel Studios is on the screen, I think you'll believe.
Okay, well, I'll back it up to 36. Now Marvel Studios is on the screen. If I press
Oh,
play, what happens for you?
black screen. Marvel Studios presents.
Okay, you might be a couple of seconds
Worked.
ahead, but that's fine.
Okay.
Time,
Time.
space.
Space.
So yeah, we're roughly in the
Reality.
right place.
Yeah. My things keeping on like syncing randomly to you, so I think I'm
Cool.
getting closer.
We'll just let it play its course and hopefully it'll be all right.
Yeah. Mhm. He is the Watcher.
He is the Watcher,
He's not the interferer. He is the Watcher.
indeed.
Dot 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 question mark. You forgot the dot 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 question mark.
Mm.
Oh, very nice.
More back. Nature versus nurture.
Mhm.
Hey, it's him.
Okay. Yeah. Made a bit more of a name for himself then.
Steals from the rich, gives to the poor. It's not the
Yeah.
same as the
No, Peter
Peter
Quill.
Quill Star-Lord. Jaimin Honsu's having so much fun with that.
Yeah, he is.
So serious in Guardians. And obviously is Chadwick voicing
Yeah.
T'Challa. Mm-hmm.
This is from the trailer. Good.
Yeah.
No, it's for that. It's more classic Star-Lord from the comics, if I remember correctly.
I don't really know, but maybe. But yeah,
I
Yondu's
think.
actually got all his like teeth instead of having half gold teeth like he does in the
Yeah.
films.
Yeah.
It's pretty great. And I don't know if you caught it. The ship is called the Mandela.
Mhm. Nice.
It is because 88 Mandela was still a
Mhm.
political voice person. Mm. Damn it, Sean Gunn.
Is that Taserface?
Yep.
That's Taserface.
And whatever Sean Gunn's character's name is. Yeah.
It's a very quick convention, but I mean, okay.
He's a kid.
Question though, did they still abduct Peter Quill to just like leave him there?
Indeed.
Because it would not be good if he found his way to Ego.
Mm. This is the planet they were in Guardians 2, but they were in the outskirts, whereas here they're in the big club.
Mhm. Oh, but the score are nice.
Maybe not this way.
To be fair, we are getting Secret War at some point.
Yeah.
Oh, that's just Thanos.
Yeah. Me
So
and Chris are just like, what?
that's just Thanos. Oh,
It's Dave. It's Josh Brolin. They're alive.
yay. Oh, wow.
Chris could nod over her with hair.
Mhm,
Karen Gillan.
mhm. Whoa.
Mm. Yeah. Wasn't Dave Bautista, but sounded enough like him.
Mhm,
The heist music from Ant-Man.
mhm.
Yeah. Didn't get Gamora, so Nebula's
Mhm,
favorite daughter.
mhm.
Michael Rooker's in the Suicide Squad, so I think that's a little
Yep.
funny link, even if it's not actually intentional.
Yeah, Robin Hood books in Wakanda.
Hmm.
Cool though.
Indeed.
That is a great line.
It is. And for such a different
Yeah.
T'Challa, the regal one we get, Chadwick's still amazing.
Mhm.
Nowhere.
Nowhere.
Get her name, but another a returning voice actor,
Mhm.
actress. Mm-hmm.
Mhm. Oh, Sputnik.
No. Dark Elf. Seth Green.
I do like Howard the Duck.
Yeah.
How?
Hmm. It's very similar to the canteen in Ragnarok.
Yeah. Oh. Hello.
Wakandan spaceship.
No, very nice.
And music from Black Panther, which is also cool.
Mhm. Hmm. Good moment.
Great moment, and Earth's still not dead. Still strange seeing Thanos
Hmm.
being like sad.
Yeah, just Thanos is there. Wait, Howard the Duck's still free?
How the Duck is still free.
How is this going to be Howard the Duck saves everyone? Ooh. Mhm.
Literally.
Ah. Oh no, that looks painful.
Mm.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. She's the one who grabbed the Power Stone
Yes.
and died.
Oh, there's the collector.
Yeah.
Wow, collector be beefy.
Hmm. Korg, no.
Hmm.
And yeah, he wasn't as buff before.
No, I'm sorry. Is that the shield?
It is.
Oh,
No idea how he got all this stuff, but
Yeah,
he did.
not
Like she's not
ideal
up
at
yet.
all.
The hammer's still in. No hammer.
Yeah,
The shield should still be in ice, but
yeah,
anyways, he's the kingpin. He has ways.
yeah. But I mean, question whether what this might be the same universe as Peggy Carter,
Hmm.
Captain Britain.
The Mad Titan, not the Crazy Titan.
Clearly filling the Drax the Destroyer archetype here.
Yeah. And everyone's clothes are a lot more colourful as well.
Ooh, wait, that's able to destroy that?
Yeah, I guess.
Oh, that was a
He just
good catch.
he did do the exact same direction twice.
Yeah. Oh, that's some good animation there.
Yeah.
Oh, what's that gonna do?
Well, remember what it
Oh,
the power to feed billions on millions of worlds?
yeah,
Awful lot of energy. So strange, but awesome.
yeah, definitely doing fine.
Yeah, definitely. Great shot.
Yep.
Hmm.
Yeah, Wakanda ship.
On the ship.
That is a very cool version
Yes, I
of
know it.
that station. Yeah.
Got Cosmo too.
It's good that Wakanda is not destroyed, because I would have been very
Yeah,
sad if that had occurred.
indeed.
Thanos again in
Still just
Wakanda.
Thanos on
There's
Wakanda, yeah.
such a weird thing.
So good.
Ah, nice one.
Hmm.
Oh,
What you said at the start.
yeah. Oh god,
Eesh.
that's not good.
Hmm.
So Peter Quill, bad guy. Oh,
Maybe. Hmm. Yeah, I don't know. What I do know is apparently Chadwick recorded lines for 4 episodes, so that's not the last we've heard of him.
appropriate music for that as well.
Yeah.
Felt that was more concise than the last episode.
So this is more what if is. I
Hmm.
think it's, like last time was a very good explanation to a wider audience of as what it is. But they
Yeah,
did have to try and fit a lot into one
yeah, one
like
episode.
episode, whereas this was just telling their own story based on, having T'Challa as Star-Lord.
Yeah, felt a lot more concise. That.
Exactly, yeah. But yeah,
I mean,
so yeah.
felt like we were treading less sort of ground. I think, like I say, it's Howard did not accept Green. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much
um.
everyone in this was returning
Yeah.
voice actors with the exception of Peter Quill, um
Yeah, makes
and
sense.
um and Drax, which has been a whole thing.
Mhm.
Because apparently they did send a message asking if Dave Bautista about it, but apparently he didn't get it. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's a bit unfortunate and weird, but you know, there we are. But no, it's great. Getting
Yeah.
like pretty much everyone else back. Yeah. But Chris doesn't particularly enjoy heist stories. Um,
Yeah.
so he didn't love all of it, but I had a great time with that
Yeah,
one.
like I said, I think it was more concise. I think it was a better story. I like the general weirdness of the
Yeah.
fact that T'Challa as Star Lord equals no Thanos. Um,
Yeah, I mean, considering, yeah, being in Wakanda, where it was a very peaceful time, people, like they settle their differences through combat, but they do share their resources with everyone else.
mhm,
Maybe he was, yeah, the person that they needed to be
yeah,
able to get through to him. And obviously, 20 years later, after 88, is 2008, so that's
yeah,
before, that's just as Iron Man is suiting up for the first time, so not
yeah,
Loki's not going to come to Earth, so everything should be better, except kind of
yeah.
not because
My
of.
question though is this the same universe where we have Peggy Carter as Captain Britain, or is this a completely separate universe?
Indeed, I
Because
I
I'm pretty
don't.
sure in the shots we saw um this version of Star Lord with I don't know if that's just a weird like multiverse crossover episode or whether that is they're all in the same universe.
Yeah,
Um, but it is interesting as well how I guess you could call them the Guardians of the Galaxy. They are technically the Guardians of the Galaxy, although they are just the Ravagers.
Yeah,
really.
but
Because
yeah,
what's
this
happened is
time
they
they're
instead of the Guardians of the Galaxy forming as sort of like a ragtag group to help um, stop that threat, it's more the Ravagers have just become a slightly Robin Hood esque version of the Guardians of the Galaxy,
mm-hmm.
which is cool.
Indeed. Yeah, like they become more like yeah, like Robin Hoods instead of
Hmm.
instead
Just
of
mercenaries.
just mercenaries and yeah, pirates, which
Yeah,
is cool. Yeah, seeing Nebula, yeah, being the favorite daughter, and also having like apart from her eye, is basically all just organic.
yeah.
She's not full of robot parts. She's got her hair still, which the blue with blonde. I mean, maybe she dyes it, but it's still a
It's,
bit odd. Um,
yeah. Well, I
but yeah,
mean, it's whatever. um, was good though.
but yeah. Um, so yeah, that's that. Um, cool episode. Um, and yeah, looking forward to see what they do with the next one. Because yeah, I'm not. How many episodes?
I'm also pretty sure we see a Gamora in like Thanos outfit
Yeah, I thought that might
from
be in the
yeah.
trailers, maybe.
So I'm wondering if that's also part of this universe, or if that's a completely separate universe.
Yeah,
Basically,
it's possible.
basically I've got questions as to whether these episodes are completely separate universe marks, or if this is one sort of mini MCU.
I think they're separate. I at least think these two are separate. I
I
think we
mean,
might. I
obviously,
think based on what we've
obviously when we
heard, we'll be going back to the others. But
yeah,
yeah,
I well, what I'm saying is that this one and at least the other one has some indications that there might be some more stuff to do with it. So it might be that we end up getting a mini sort of storyline out of that, and then go to ones that are completely disconnected, like well, Marvel Zombies are almost certainly 100% going to be disconnected. Let's
yeah,
be honest.
yeah. I mean, the whole point is it's one change.
Yeah.
It's not what if all these things. I mean, they could do the final one by all means. Might be what if all of these characters were together and X thing happened, but
Hmm.
usually there's one. Yeah, one change per.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's just well, I mean, technically, you could have those episodes as because time is not linear. So what if, say, for example, Peggy Carter was became the first Super Soldier, the first Avenger,
Yeah, exactly.
could potentially butterfly into what if T'Challa became Star Lord.
Hmm.
It's not necessarily the same as each universe is a completely separate what if, but maybe one decision led to another decision being different, and so on and so
Indeed.
on. Anyway, it's something that we'll have to see later if there is
Hmm.
um, a wider sort of story with several of these episodes being interconnected and then just a couple of one-offs, or whether we are just looking at several different episodes and there's going to be one episode at the end where it's like, what if they all came together somehow, or what if they broke through universes, something like that.
Yeah, something like that exactly.
But anyway, I
So
think yeah. So, which I suppose leads us on to what we have to talk about next, which is
yeah,
trailers.
so next we're going on to the Vision trailers. I have
Yeah,
sent
let
the
me
link
just
of
get
it.
on to watch together. There we go.
Yeah.
On
So
watch
again,
together. Let's load.
the other animated, slightly out there property that's coming out towards the end of the year. We've got we had Bad Batch, but that was more you know direct, whereas this is more like What If in that it's. I mean, What If might be semi-canon. This until said otherwise is very much non-canon.
Mm,
But it's just do
I
what you
think
want in the Star Wars universe.
once again
Um,
with Star Wars, the way I always like to think about it is canon definitely happened. Everything else you can fit it in if you really try hard
yeah.
enough to justify it. So if you really want these to be real
Hmm.
in the Star Wars canon, you can fit them in. Okay, but they don't have to be.
Yeah.
You can disregard
Sure.
them, and I think a bit more freeing because it allows you to bring stuff from Legends and go, yes, this is canon in my thing, and then until it gets disregarded by actual proper canon,
Hmm.
then that's fine. At least that's how I like to look at it. But let's have a look at it. And again, I don't. Have they said it's not canon, or have they said? I can't remember if they have or not.
Yeah.
There was an argument about it. I know there was that
They said that
about.
these. I'm pretty sure that they've said these are not canon. I'm
Mm,
pretty sure.
oh,
Because
whatever.
they've definitely said in like the background trailer, basically is do what you want.
Yeah, but
You
even
can use
saying
old
do what you
characters,
want,
use complete original characters. So
even saying do what you want though, with in regards to Star Wars is still exceedingly freeing because there's so much in Star Wars that you can do.
yeah,
It's such an expansive universe that I suspect we're going to see episodes that can just straight up just happen.
yeah,
Anyway, we'll watch this. We'll watch the trailer and we'll see.
yep,
Something to be discussed, I think,
indeed,
when we actually end up watching it.
yeah, for sure. Let us begin. Starting in 3, 2, 1, now.
Oh, very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, first 30 seconds, and it's like yes. Oh, all the different art styles and everything.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, it's ridiculous, but it's so cool. Hearing "May the Force be with you" in
Mhm.
Japanese is really cool.
Very cool.
There we are. Very cool.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I am going to say as
My
well, I am happy that they have at least allowed the language options on this because I was sort of afraid that Disney would just be like, no, it must be English, at least for the English, for people who are like tagged into the English region.
yeah, I'm not surprised, but yeah, I know what you mean. But considering that they've given, full reign to these studios, it's like, well,
You would have
use your own voice
assumed.
actors then. Um,
Although I will say the trailer there has left out Disney Star on the Disney Plus logo. Did you notice
huh,
that?
I did not.
It's just a bit weird because that's been on there now for a couple of months. Anyway, we'll watch the English dubbed
Now
version
watch
now.
the English one.
Yeah, which,
Indeed.
which will
I'll
be the exact same, except I will be able to understand much more what's
you'll be
going
able to
on.
hear the words instead of just read them. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Starting in 3, 2, 1, now.
Hmm. Good use. That is an amazing Star Destroyer there, by the
It
way.
really is. It's so pretty.
Once again, good use of force powers.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if you ever wanted to
Slave
like
one there.
get people, yeah, to expand on force
Mhm.
and lightsabers and stuff, then
That's
anime.
just insane. What that
It's
thing does
good.
there.
It's like whistling birds or something, I feel. Then obviously Tatooine
Yeah,
for I think Tatooine Rhapsody or Mos Eisley Rhapsody or something.
yeah.
I do love that they still kept "May the Force be with you" in Japanese. Ah, this looks so good.
Boba Fett.
Yeah. It's like all the art styles are so different, but it all looks incredible.
Mhm.
There we go.
Does look very interesting.
It
Some of
really
them.
does.
Each one it has that interesting style.
Yeah.
And again, he keeps on coming back to. Sorry for coming back to this, but I do think that a lot of these probably can just fit in quite easily. They're just saying it's not canon to
Yeah.
give themselves more leeway with their creative possibilities, which is what they should have done with the books, by the way. As much as I love some of those books, and as much as some of those books are very good,
Mm-hmm.
they, as I think I've said before, are limiting towards the actual source material they have for eras such as the Mandalorian era. And I am sort of hoping that they just disregard it
Mm-hmm.
in the Mandalorian, which they may well be doing, because there is something I do actually need to tell you. I'm not sure if you've heard about this. Those mountains at the end of Bad Batch. I said Wayland.
You did.
They've released concept art.
Yeah.
Do you know what that concept art is labelled?
It's Wayland or
It's
somewhere.
Wayland. It's Mount Pantis.
Yeah.
It
I
may
mean,
not
I
be on
was as
Wayland.
soon as you said it, I was like, "Yep, that sounds right. That definitely
Yeah,
sounds right." Because
it
people were
may
saying
not
it's
be
Darrow
Wayland.
again. I was like, "No, no, that's definitely not Darrow because that was
Yeah,
inside, whereas this is in the side of a hill. It's not the same
yeah.
place."
It may not be Wayland, but it is at the very least Mount Tansis, which
Hmm.
was the Emperor's storehouse and one of the
Yeah.
places where secret research on cloning continued after the Clone Wars. It makes so much sense for clone scientists from Camino to end up there, and its
Yeah.
inclusion is a massive hint towards things that are going to occur in Bad Batch Season 2 and
Yeah.
things that are going to occur in Mandalorian, because that area, that region, is intrinsically linked both with Palpatine, and we know that Palpatine does cloning because of Episode 9, and Thrawn,
Mm-hmm.
and amazingly enough, the Empire, and just good storytelling. So it's really cool to see it in there. And I honestly, I will say, I actually prefer the way that they've shown Mount Tansis in this, where it's like multiple hills with like massive complex. It's, if anything, it's even more epic than it was in Legends, where it was just a mountain with a storehouse on the inside. Bit more obvious, but still exceedingly cool. Um, so yeah, I mean, in
Yeah.
general, I'm really happy with the direction Star Wars is going at the moment.
It's very cool.
Um, and I am very excited to see what Visions has to offer.
Me too.
Because we're gonna, I mean, you can already tell some of these stories have got. Well, the passion is very evident. Even
Yeah.
from the first trailer, it was evident that these studios were coming in with the ideal of making good stories, and
Yeah.
I have full faith that they have,
I mean,
and I can't wait.
like we've said, given that we have been very selective in what we've shown you, and we haven't shown you much, but
Hmm.
like you really love Steins Gate,
Hmm.
and from what I can tell so far, you seem to be really enjoying The Promised Neverland.
I enjoyed. It's not quite as much as I like Steins Gate. I think there's less what I would call typical anime issues. When I say typical anime issues, I don't mean in regards to like the storytelling, the actual the stuff that I don't particularly
Just mean
enjoy
things that
about
don't
anime.
particularly well
Yeah,
translate into
there's
Western media.
less of that
Mm-hmm.
in Promised Neverland than there
Mm-hmm.
is in Steins Gate.
Yeah.
However, Steins Gate focuses in on subjects and topics that I'm a bit more interested in.
Yeah, for sure.
Um,
It's very much sci-fi, whereas
yes,
Promised Neverland is sci-fi, but also isn't.
yeah,
Like if you look at it, it is science fiction. It is essentially an alternate reality thing, which makes it sci-fi. But the story
yeah,
could be anywhere almost.
yeah.
Whereas Lionsgate is time travel, so it's very much more. Again, we haven't seen the last 2 episodes yet. Those 2 episodes are
Mhm.
amazing, and I was like, "No, John, not this week." When you were like, "I'm not
Yeah,
gonna check out
unfortunately.
because I was
Yeah,
watching."
no,
Like,
I mean,
honestly, I've seen it before, but I don't want to rewatch them before you guys rewatch them because I want to
yeah,
get as good a reaction as I can. But hopefully, this Wednesday will be there. Again, those are going to come out way after we've released
yeah,
this, so it doesn't particularly matter. But my point is, in terms of just great storytelling and great animation and great voice acting and great good music, great everything.
mhm,
Obviously, Western animation and like cartoons and stuff are having a bit of a resurgence, which is great. But
yes.
um, anime
Um,
has just been consistently releasing, obviously
well, I
less
mean,
great things, but also great things for years, and so it's very cool
if you
to see.
consider the sort of periods that we're talking about, because I had a couple of issues with shows I think that came out after sort of like the greater shows, like the stuff like Atla, um,
Hmm.
Teen Titans, Samurai Jack, the stuff that sort of came out after that.
And again,
I
all stuff
didn't
very
enjoy
much
as much.
inspired by anime.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
um,
This is the thing. Start the best stories always and the best styles always seem to come from sort of learning from each other.
yeah,
You know,
yeah. I mean, it's
and
great that we have got, as we said before, this full cycle of Star Wars, which was inspired by like samurai films and all those kind of things.
yeah,
Now going back to having anime Star
yeah,
Wars, it's just very cool.
it is very cool. Um, I still, I mean, it depends on how Chris wants to watch it, I suppose. Um, I think we should almost, depending on how long these episodes are, I think we should almost watch both.
That could be interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see how long they are and what people think. Hopefully, we'll have Jacob with us for these as well.
Yeah,
Um,
because it's like I said, the dubbing is very good, at least in the trailer.
the dub is great. There
Mhm.
is I do like the dub. There's just something about.
Yeah, and this is probably the most high profile sort of thing for anime in Western sort of styles in comparison to because obviously we've had similar takes by Halo and The Matrix, but I mean this one is
This is Star Wars.
reaching. So yeah, this is Star Wars, which
This
is
is
like
Star Wars on Disney Plus. Yeah,
the
if
definitive sci-fi series of the West, which is
yeah,
hilarious to say because once again, highly inspired by Japanese samurai films.
indeed,
Um,
it's
and
if people haven't seen anime up until this point, this is very well what might interest people with it. And I've
yeah,
seen I didn't intentionally look at the comments, but Ed said, the comments on the YouTube videos are like, "Blah," and, you've either got people being really happy about it or being YouTube commenters. It's just like,
yeah.
if
I
you
mean,
don't like it, don't watch it. That's fine. But
yeah. I mean,
it'll be very
this is the
exciting
thing.
if it gets more people aware of, a whole area of like animation and
Yeah,
storytelling that people just don't really think of because, like we said, anime holds still a bit of a bad
yeah.
rap
Well,
in
I
the
mean,
West.
it does, and I think the stories that are going to succeed are going to be the ones that are a lot more palatable to Western audiences. Unfortunately, if this does lead, as I think it might, to a bit of a renaissance in the number of people looking at anime,
Mm-hmm.
then I would, unless of course the attitudes in the West will change, which is quite possible because again, animes typically a more young adults teenager thing at the moment here in the West. In general, I mean, I've already stated my mum's somewhat weird opinions on anime,
Yeah,
uh,
indeed.
which was a symptom of my sister's friends, getting her to look at stuff which was not had a lot of, as I say, typical anime problems, which did not go over very well with my mother at all.
No,
Um, which
which is
yeah,
the way that can happen.
it is the way that can happen. It's a very easy, cultural disconnect because you're taught one thing here and you're taught one thing over there,
Mm-hmm.
and not always do those things actually meld very well together. But
No,
stuff like
we're
Promise
incredibly
Neverland,
PC as well. But Promised Neverland is just
type of show that I think would enjoy more success
mm-hmm.
um, from that increase of that. Whereas Steins Gate, despite me enjoying it more than Promise Neverland, I would argue has a few more of those issues. Although again, they're not massive in Steins Gate; they're palatable in Steins Gate.
Indeed.
And then
And
there's also, like I say, other stuff like gratuitous violence, which is not appreciated. I mean, you say, for example, I enjoy Game of Thrones. In actual terms of the show, there is some really nasty stuff that occurs in that, and in the books, there is some stuff that's even nastier.
yep.
But it's paced quite well
Mm-hmm.
in that show, and in several other shows where you have some gruesome things, it's paced quite well to be used as either shock value or to be used as something else. And in certain cases, you just hear about these events happening in the books, and you're like, "Oh, that was probably a bit screwed up, but I'm glad we're
Yeah.
not talking about it."
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Um, for example, the sack of King's Landing before the books even start. That was probably awful. Never see it.
Yeah.
Only get the memories of it, which are suitably traumatic. Um, but yeah, I think it's a good thing to get, particularly the companies that are producing this stuff out there.
Yeah.
It will reach a wider audience. It will, with any luck, have some good effects on the image of anime in Western countries.
Yeah.
It's clearly seeking to present itself very well. There's clearly a lot of passion in the project. There's clearly a lot of talented people working behind it. We're going to get several good stories out of it, which is all that we ask
Exactly.
from our entertainment.
At the end of the day, more good stories from Star Wars is all we want.
It's good, and more good stories from Star Wars that everyone can agree are good stories from Star Wars is
Exactly.
also very good because it means less people have to go out the airlock. Battlestar Galactica
I mean, like
style.
as much as we can argue about if we like the sequel trilogy or not. Was it a good
God,
overarching story? No,
no. Yeah, but
because they
this is
didn't plan it. Like
they didn't
that's
plan it.
undisputable.
Yeah, they didn't plan it.
Again, if you enjoyed the individual parts enough by yourself, that's fine. But like even me, who again I enjoyed 7, 8, and 9, um, it's not if you follow them through, it doesn't work.
7 is fine because it's episode 4. Um,
Sort of.
8, it is sort of. It's heavily inspired, and
Yeah.
we'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Again, we'll get to them eventually.
8, I have my issues with, but I can see why people like it.
Mm-hmm.
9 gets a bad rap and was rushed.
Yes. Whereas
Um,
with Bad Batch, you've got people who it's Dave Filoni. You know, it's George
yeah.
Lucas' successor.
Well, I
He
mean,
knows what he's doing.
even comparing the sequels to what people now, for some bizarre reason, are calling the better sequels, which are the prequels. You have episode 1, which is objectively a bad movie. Episode 2, which is so bad it's verging on becoming entertaining because it's that bad. And episode 3, which is arguably one of the best stories that Star Wars has put out there, but still struggled with dialogue and the pacing.
Still gets bogged down with dialogue, pacing, and still has political stuff that went over people's heads.
Yeah.
Best of the prequels, but that's again the only one people remember. And
I will maintain that Disney's sequels are better than the prequels in quality of storytelling.
Yeah.
They don't come anywhere near to the originals, but again, what Star Wars material, excluding the Clone Wars and its derivatives, has, and the Mandalorian.
I mean, again, and that's the thing, like everything that Dave Filoni's been involved with.
Yeah, Dave Filoni touches something, it instantly becomes as good as the originals, so that should tell you something about
as well. But like, Mandalorian's been great. It's not perfect by any means. There were issues with the first season. There's issues with the second season.
Yeah. The fact that Dave Filoni isn't getting worn out with Star Wars as well is also really promising, because that man is just golden, whatever he touches.
It is. And then like Starwars Visions again is people who have loved Star Wars for years. So
I mean,
it's just passion projects, which is all great.
I would also argue that Dave Filoni has successfully managed to make several Star Wars movies better by virtue of his series existing.
Yeah, I mean the prequels, episode 3,
so much to episode 4. Star Wars: The Clone Wars turned episode 3 from a middling movie into one of the most tragic stories in all of Star Wars.
Rebels / Rogue One make episode 4
amazing.
I
can't wait to eat. One thing I really want is for, I mean, I know it doesn't need it, but I do kind of want episode 5 to get a sort of series in between it and episode 4, because that would make that movie really, really good. Not that episode 5 needs it, because episode 5 is 100% the best Star Wars movie ever made. You can debate, Ollie, with whether Rogue One comes. I would say Rogue One or episode 4 would be the only contenders.
Yeah, again, we'll come to that. Like, episode 5 is great. Don't know if I love it that much, but that is just me.
It's such a good movie. So well paced.
Anyway, we've got very much off topic now, so we'll leave this one here.
Yeah, we will. We'll leave it here.
Looking forward to what they do. How we're going to release them and everything, because they're all coming out at once, and we may do dubs and subs. We'll see what happens.
We'll see. I mean, it depends on what. I don't know how into anime Jacob is actually. Is he fairly interested?
He is. He kind of stopped and then he started again, and he's been binging stuff. So, and it's Star Wars,
again, it depends on what everyone wants to do. Because if Chris and Jacob want to do the original Japanese audio, then I'm fine with doing the original Japanese audio. It's just, as I think I've proven to myself through Steins Gate and through Promised Neverland, I think more Promised Neverland was better for this than Steins Gate, but I do struggle sometimes to follow the story. And I ended up binge watching Steins Gate in the dub after we finished it, and it made the story less unfollowable for me. I think it's a little bit easier with Promised Neverland because there's a little bit less complexity to it.
Yeah, it's I mean, the thing is with like binging stuff is that you can do other things while you're doing it, and you can watch them back to back, and you can just kind of listen and you'll get it. And obviously, when we're watching things like over a few weeks, we get them gaps, that certainly didn't help. But yeah, no, it'll be interesting. We'll see what they think. But until then, we will leave this one here.
We shall.
Yeah, thank you for listening. This has been a bit of a random one, but there we are.
Yeah.
And
we can call it Thomas's opinions on Marvel and Star Wars and stuff.
Yeah, something like that.
Basically what it is. We've just gone through everything that's new out. And you know what we also need to go through, Ollie? Which we may do in a different episode. Some Halo stuff. We'll do a few Halo stuff.
That is true. But we'll leave that for another time. So thank you for listening. See you next time. Goodbye.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Cabincast. For more episodes, go to www.cabincast.podbean.com or use the Podbean app. You can now also find us on iTunes and Pocket Casts under Cabincast and on YouTube. The uploads here are quite behind. Finally, you can find us on Facebook at www.facebook.com/Cabincast. Thank you for listening, and we'll see you next time.